Hello, welcome to another edition of Athletes Corner. And today we are joined by my man Teddy O'Neal. What is going on, my guy?
What's up?
Hey man, everything good, man. Everything good. Just AAU for you. A lot of things going on, man. Just first of all, what's the off season like for you, man?
So right after season, just got straight into AAU. Still working because we had a tough loss. So it makes you want to work 10 times, 100 times harder. So getting ready for that AAU season, really showcasing what I can do, and then getting ready for next year.
Right, and with the season ending, a lot of changes coming to the program. I know you're going off to Tabor in the fall. There's a new head coach. Coach Knowles stepped down and stuff. But how's all that for this being his last year as coaching? What was kind of like the feelings when the season ended, knowing that he was going to step down?
Yeah, no, definitely. The end of the season, it was probably the hardest hit I've ever taken in my basketball career. Last season with the guys I played with last year, last season for head coach, I knew a lot of changes were coming to the program, so just how it ended, really, it couldn't have been worse. But, that's just how life goes. So, you just got to keep pushing.
Yeah, definitely. But for you guys, though, I mean, lot of success for you guys, despite the way it ended, right? A lot of guys made plays. Just what was it about this group that it seemed like it was a very unison group, especially on the court, especially you guys start off the season, you score 40 points, but in that 40 points, there was other guys making plays too. Just from that first game of the season against Winthrop, did you guys was that just the camaraderie, you guys playing together for a while, just all coming together?
Yeah, well, it definitely started last year. We only had 3 or 4 seniors graduate, and so basically our whole starting lineup was returning, and we put in the work over the summer and played together, and then we had runs in the fall before the season started. So just constantly playing with each other. We came into the season knowing we were going to be one of the best teams in Division III. So just coming in with that confidence and trusting our guys definitely helped.
Right, and for a team to have expectations like that, and you guys not fairly old, but not fairly young, in between, because you got a lot of guys playing for the first time, a lot of guys, a couple of experiences. But how were you guys able to handle that pressure, and the fact that the conference this year was really good too, with a lot of good teams?
Yeah, for sure. We just trust our work that we put in over time, and we had faith in our coaches and their game plan and their way to calm us down throughout the season, and just the way we trust each other with knowing that if I have an off game, someone else is going to step up. If someone has an off game, someone else is going to step up. Just that constant trust in each other definitely helped. And, the toughness of the conference definitely made us want to step up as a team and perform to the highest level.
Yeah. Let's take it back a little bit. But for you, when did the love of the game start for you? When did you start really fully getting invested in basketball?
Yeah, love of the game mainly started middle school. Before I played 3 different sports: basketball, baseball, soccer. But in middle school, I really just found my love of the game for basketball. When I started playing AAU for the first time, I knew I really wanted to put in work and, be the best I could at this sport.
Which AAU team did you play for in middle school?
So I started at NSSA, and then I moved to Storm, and now I'm on Team Sims.
Right. And did you see your development growing in that process in middle school as you was getting ready for high school, when you just fully invested in basketball and, put the other sports to the side?
Yeah, for sure. Just a constant put in work every day. I felt myself getting faster, overall better basketball player, shooting wise, dribbling, finishing, all the above, and just that confidence of me putting in work every day just made me want to work even harder and become that much better of a basketball player.
Right. At what point did you find that kind of figured out your game? Was there a point where you figure out your game, what you do best, and the other things that you can work on? Was there a point that you kind of realized where everything works for you?
Yeah, I would definitely say I found out the type of player I am later than earlier, because I would say my 8th grade year I was more of just a shooter. Wasn't really on the ball that much. So definitely freshman year when I started my high school season, when I started playing on the ball much more, I found out I was more than just a shooter, and how much of an overall player I could really become.
Right. And that's a lot of responsibility, and that's you have to be really conditioned too, because when when you have the ball in your hands and you creating for others, creating for yourself, that takes away. But how were you able, and mentally too, how are you able to just stay mentally locked in with everything?
I'm just a very competitive person. I want to win at everything I do, even if we're just playing cards. Just like something simple. I want to win at everything I do. So that competitive edge really just like pushes me past that feeling of like tiredness, like anything like that, because I just want to keep pushing, make sure I can win.
Right. Yeah, you get to high school, and being a big-time varsity player your freshman year, that's a lot of responsibility, right? Yeah. And some adjustments too. Did it come easy? Did the game come easy for you your first year as varsity, or did it take a little bit for you to just get comfortable with the varsity game and the varsity system?
Yeah, no, for sure. Starting in summer league, I came in confident, because I know the type of player I am, and I always have confidence in myself. So that definitely helped for the start of the season. But I actually started off my first varsity game like 0 for 4. I didn't score in the first quarter.
Right.
But after I saw that first shot go in, and I know that my teammates and my coaches have trusted me since the start, my confidence just skyrocketed throughout the season, and I just kept pushing.
Yeah, is it a lot easier knowing like those guys? They knew you from middle school, they know your game, and they were able to get you acclimated easily, and also encouraging you, because for a freshman sometimes they be like, hey, you're a freshman, you gotta you gotta do this, do that, and pick your spots to score. Yeah. But how were those older players that you had that freshman year helped you out?
Well, definitely, yeah. Swampscott, small town, so I grew up with those guys, like playing little league as kids. So I already knew some of them coming into high school. They were very welcoming, cheered me on, straight confidence from the beginning, because they knew the type of player I was, and that's just who they are as people, and they're great guys, obviously. Right. So and they just want to win too. They got the competitive edge, so whatever was best for the team, they supported. Yeah, definitely.
Was there a game your freshman year that everything just came all together for you, offensively, defensively, and that helped the team go on a spurt?
Honestly, I would say I think my best game of the year was actually our last game, so our first playoff game. That's when I really came out, and I stepped up big as a freshman. I had like 27 points, first playoff game ever for me in high school. So I would say just ending the season on that note, like, just boosted my confidence and made me want to work even harder for next year.
Right. When you going into that game, was there nerves, like anxious nerves, or were you just excited to get that? Get the experience of playing in the state tournament, because there's nothing like playoff basketball.
Exactly. Obviously, there was a mix of both. I was nervous and excited. Nervous because obviously it was my first playoff game in high school, but very excited to showcase what I could do in the state tournament. So but all those nerves just fade away right when the ball goes up for the tip, and then I just get super confident in myself and super excited to see how the rest of the game goes.
Yeah, that momentum from your freshman year, how did you carry that over into in your second year? How were you able to improve on your game and improve from what you did that first year?
I would say of how people like slept on me and how I felt like I was underrated as a freshman. I wanted to really show what I could do the next year. Just work even harder to really show that I'm one of the best players in the state and in my class and in general. So I really just wanted to showcase that and prove to everyone that like I belong.
And you guys played a lot of basketball leading up to the season. Yeah. I'm talking about from the countless summer league, fall leagues, right? How did those help you guys get the team cohesiveness to play just so when the season starts, you guys won't be rusty or anything? Yeah,
no, those leagues definitely helped. They helped everyone on our team find a role, see what they need to improve on, and mesh us together for chemistry. Obviously one of my teammates, Michael, he's a great shooter, so everyone found out that they have trust in him to shoot the ball whenever. Connor, obviously strong on the ball, he can create his own shot and for other people, so just working off what everyone was good at on our team really helped us mesh together and find out like what we need to improve on.
Yeah, and then I know you you got sick and missed a game.
Yeah.
Right now.
2 years in a row.
Right, and I was out, and that was a game I showed up to. I'm like, because I'm looking around, I'm like, where's Teddy? Yeah. And they told me, but you guys did get a chance to play Salem again the second go around, from not being there in the first matchup, and then playing them the second time. What changed? From watching the first meeting between the two teams, and then you being able to play the second game. What was kind of the difference in those two?
Yeah, I mean, I would say we go into every game confident, believing that we can win every game. But I think that loss was kind of a wake-up call because we started off the season 9-0. So we knew, like, okay, like the first really good team that we play, So, we have to lock in, and then I find out that I'm sick, so I can't go to the game. So we ended up losing that game, obviously, but, we were so confident going into the next time we played them, obviously because I was playing that game and because we believe in ourselves. So I would say the shift is mainly that we're even hungrier because last year, too, we lost both times to them. So, we just wanted to prove that we are one of the best teams in the NEC and that we are one of the best teams in Division III as well.
Right. The latter part of the season, so you guys really closed off the season on a hot streak, going on the road, getting some big games. You guys came here, played Lynn Classical, who were on a streak themselves. You guys were able to knock them off, having to play them like 2 weeks before that.
Yeah.
All right. What was that run at the end of the season? What led to that winning streak did you guys have to end the season?
Yeah, so we had a little rough patch losing to Masco and Beverly. So definitely those 2 games really, and Lynn Classical as well. So those 3 games, those 3 losses really helped us, have that wake up that we really need to make an end of season push because we were not rated. Our goal was top 4 for 3 home playoff games, and we were not ranked in the top 4 by then. So we knew at end of season we have to close out strong so we can get to where we want to be.
Right. And closing out the season against some really good opponents, I know that boosted the rankings up. And now you guys get into the playoffs. I mean, when you win a game.
Yeah.
This guy, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. But nonetheless, that's just basketball. Like things happen like that. But what was the takeaways from just this year's state tournament run? I know you guys were disappointed in losing. But so sometimes it's like, man, you can't do nothing about that.
Yeah, no. Going in, we were super confident coming as one of the highest seeds. We had an all right first game, missing a lot of shots that we usually make, but, it's first game, playoff nerves coming off a hard loss last year. So we got past that game, coming confident second game, thinking, we have to stay locked in, not play like last game, really wake up. Obviously that didn't happen, but I would say takeaways just, we just didn't play our best, and honestly, there are obviously some stuff I could have done better. I could have made more shots. There's stuff everyone could have done better. So it sucks, but we move on.
Right. And like I said, sometimes that's just basketball.
Exactly.
Like that was, I saw that shot. I'm like, he really made that.
Yeah, and before I hit the shot to go up 2, I was beyond thrilled. I was happy. I thought, oh yeah, this game's over. They had like, what was it, like 3 seconds?
Yeah.
Something like that, and they had a half court, and then saw the shot go up, and I'm like, oh, like this might go in, and then full on swish. That was like the cherry on top. It was just straight swish.
Yeah, and like they say basketball sometimes, man.
Yeah.
It's like the last 10 seconds of the last 20 seconds of the game.
Exactly.
It's just 2 roller coasters of emotions.
Crazy.
Right.
I've never seen a gym shift like after I hit that shot. Everyone was on their feet, loud, and then everyone just got straight shut up right after that.
Yeah, it happens. You also made the decision you'll be attending Tabor Academy in the fall. What led to that decision to transfer over there?
Obviously I love all my guys at Swampscott, all my coaches, my teammates, how they've treated me throughout my 2 years here at Swampscott High School. But I think Tabor and Coach Willard, will really help me get to that next level of where I want to be at and that exposure of going to a prep school. Right. And the resources that they have will really help me skyrocket to where I want to be.
Yeah, and also, did you just feel like you've done all you could do, with your time at Swampscott, and you felt like they've helped you and you helped them? It kind of one of those things.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I think I could have done all I could have done because obviously I feel like I could have played way better at the end of the season. Right. But I think it was a mutual. Like, I had a great time at Swampscott my 2 years. I couldn't have asked for better teammates, coaches, an environment. It was awesome. Fans, everything was great. But I think Tabor, just for my basketball career, will help me shoot to the next level. Yeah,
definitely. Now, when you kind of look back, when you're looking back, and seeing how you played this year, and now you're moving up, stepping up. The competition is going to step up. What do you feel like you need to do in preparation to get ready for that level of competition that you will be playing in the NEPSAC?
Definitely start off mentally. I need to be confident in myself for sure and believe in myself and know the type of player I am. And through the ups and downs of my next 3 years, just stay believing in myself. And then I would say physically, I definitely need to get physically stronger, more athletic, and then with my game, just keep on improving.
Right. And have you do you know some of the guys that are going to be returning on the team, or some of the guys that?
I know that like they have a lot of seniors graduating because a couple of them played for Sims last year.
Okay.
So I know them. And then, so it's like more of a rebuild year next year. We got a lot of new guys coming in. So, we're excited. We're young.
Yeah.
So, just to see our growth over the next couple of years will be good to see.
Yeah, it's kind of like the perfect storm for you, too.
Exactly.
And for them to kind of try to keep on going, the momentum that they've had going on. That's a truth, too.
Yeah.
to marry it. Lastly, what's the funnest thing you're gonna remember from your time at Swampscott?
I would say, honestly, just the practices, Everyone says, practices, like they hate going to practices, they hate all the conditioning, they hate all the drills that I have to go through. But honestly, just to have another week of practices would just honestly be the best thing. Those practices, the times, having fun with my teammates, having fun with the coaches, just that feeling of like fullness or like that fulfillness.
Right.
There's nothing like it.
Yeah, and also for Coach Knowles, I know they told me he was dealing with like a back and all that, right? But for him to continue coming out there, continue to coach you guys, and even with the back problems, right? What were some of the things that you took away from his coaching?
Definitely, he's a strong guy. I mean, back injury, not everyone's gonna come back. Be able to coach a full season and be as locked in as he was. So, he's a great guy, great coach, and just him being in as like locked in and driven to win the state chip, just as we were. Gave us that much more confidence and that we believed in each other and our abilities and what we could do.
Yeah. Well, the toughest opponent for you that you had to match up with these 2 years.
Oh, like team or player?
Player.
I would say
go team and go player and then team.
Okay. Yeah. So I would say player. I would have to say obviously there's like Elion. Obviously, he won NEC Player of the Year. He's a great player. I would say definitely Jacob Klass too. He's another NEC Player of the Year. He's one of the best. I would say like Jimmy Farrell too. He's a great player, Masco. So I would say those 3 players and then those 3 teams will probably be the hardest matchups for me.
Yeah. Those are some tough
if you really think about it, like Salem State champions, Beverly, the great team in D1, Masco, Final Four and state champ.
Right.
Like that game. 2 years in a row.
Right. Definitely. You guys definitely were tested this year. And the good thing about it is you guys held your own against all of them. So that just shows like the competitive nature of the team. But before we get up out of here, man, plug in your socials and people know where they can find you. That's your team right there.
So my name is Teddy O'Neill on Instagram, teddy.o'neill1, and then I guess my TikTok is not.teddy2. So thank you for having me.
No, man, you know this. I told you people, this is one of my favorite hoopers in the North Shore, man. Y'all make sure you go follow him. You'll see in summertime he said he'll be at P2P, so make sure you check him out.
Yeah.
Let It Fly, he'll be there. So got a lot of chances to check him out. So thank you for dropping by, my guy.
Hey,
Appreciate
thank you for
that.
having me.
Yes, sir. Athletes Corner, we're out of here.
Peace.